Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to week 2 of Ascent. And we are here for a Division 1 match between Divine and Olympia Odyssey. I'm Pyronius, joined here by Akira, and this is looking to be a great match.
It is. The skill of these players is pretty good. Looks like all mid to high masters, 1 or 2 GMs, so we can expect some wicked plays coming out from both of these teams. Our first map here today is going to be Elijah Tower, and it's going to be the control point. So we're going to see some, hopefully, close range combat here, Pyronius.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely going to be the cream of the crop when it comes to Ascent. These teams are a bit familiar with each other. They've definitely fought before, and they are both hungry for another go at each other. So it's looking to be a great match. And it's going to be interesting to see how this matchup goes on the relatively new meta. These teams only had a couple of weeks to make adjustments based on the playstyle. It's going to be interesting to see how they do that.
Though we are going to see much more of a standard run out, and we're going to see the double maze. So we're going to see some crazy walls off, and it's going to be Whip Reinhardt gets caught out here behind the walls.
Yeah, opening May wall coming down doesn't quite manage to catch any of the members of Olympia Odyssey. They do manage to black up in order. There's the counter May wall. That's a lot of pressure going to be put there onto Kuhn. Manages to back up though. He's made it out of the disaster. These two teams are adjusting position. Crocodile gets cut off there. Down goes Crocodile. The point is now firmly in control by Divine, and they're just going to push forward and take those kills. Oh, a Wheatbeaks is going to get taken out there as well, and that's going to be an easy first point cap there by Divine.
Yeah, that was really a nice, retreat there as well. They went, cool, our Ryan's dead, we're not going to win this fight 5v6, and they just straight out ran out.
Oh, there's a nice opening wall there. 4 members did make it through, however, that is going to prevent it. Crocodile actually gets the early kill onto Kuhn. That initial wall not working out, and they're going to push forward. A lot of pressure there now. Tafiki's gone down as well. This is looking like it's going to be clean up. High Journey on the May, however, still providing a lot of threat. Going to wait for the team to regroup. That is going to at least buy some time on the point there in the eye block. Kuhn has made it back on the Reinhardt in the meantime, so this is still able to come around. There's the shatter from Crocodile. That's going to end this fight. It is just going to be clean up here, and a quick and meaty cleanup that is there, and they will get this point flip. 42%.
The brick though overextended here. MacMan might be going down, or is he going to get out? He's going to get out. That clutch Zarya bubble keep him alive, and that's not going to be a stagger from the Brigitte. That is Lamau. So this is going to be
played. Good May wall there at the end as well, just making sure it can't be followed through. Offen's going down early there is deadly though, and we're going to have a fight breakout here. There's the sound barrier being committed.
This is a really split
fight as well. A lot of ults getting thrown into this one. Transcendence from Dr. Meme is going to keep everyone nice and healthy while this is going on. Double May ult not working out at all for the members of Olympia Odyssey there.
Yeah, and that was just another split fight. These May walls coming in clutch from both teams. Though we did see a lot of ults get popped. So at the moment, we're just looking at trading Zarya ults and maybe Lamal's Brigitte ult to start this fight. And here it is. They're going to look to proper the ult here and push it off this. But another wall
comes in. There's the grab being committed there over the top. So far, no one's gone down, but there goes A. Lamau. Transcendence coming out a little late to save the Brigitte, but there's still an opportunity here. There's the counter grab. The wall comes up to keep the team relatively well protected. Brigitte caught on the wrong side of that is going to get taken down, but Offenz has gone down on the Zen as well. Crocodile just barely managing to stay in there. A lot of May pressure being put through now, and Dr. Meme has dropped as well. The kills finally starting to come through in favor of Olympia Odyssey, but it is by no means a clean fight here, and this point is still going to be able to be contested.
Especially with this Lucio sitting on point with Zarya bubbles. He should be able to contest for so long. And look, it's 90% at the moment for Divine. And they're only just going to push
89% at the flip, but we are going to have an immediate fight coming back here. Crocodile goes for the counter shatter to the grab, doesn't catch anyone, and the kill's coming through very quickly already. Olympia Odyssey going down hard and fast. It's going to be a quick flip back to Divine. This is very dangerous territory. They may not be able to get on that point.
This is not good. Olympia Odyssey has to just go straight for the point. They can't have to ignore the fight. And Indigo on the backside is going to get that touch, going to get the OT, and that's really lucky because they're all May walled out.
Absolutely, but they're still getting binned there. A shatter coming down is just going to mean they're not going to be able to push through, and that will be the full point cap there by Divine, showing a solid performance here in the first round of Lijiang Tower.
And we're seeing these Mei Wolves come out with such efficiency and huge value plays. They're dead splitting 2 or 3 members off every time and just picking them off. Divine is just playing this really, really well. We are now going to go to our second point on Lijiang Tower, and I wouldn't be too surprised with a Pharaoh out of either of these teams. That or what it looks like is a couple of goats.
Yeah, it does look like we may be running just Zen Goats into Zen Goats here on Night Market, which is perhaps not overly surprising given how things have gone recently. But let's see if, without the added pressure of that Mei coming in on them, we're able to see a bit more coming out of Olympia Odyssey here as these two teams make their way into the courtyard.
So no, we are actually nice. That was a really nice back point, and it's now going to be a case of who's going to be able to take out someone. The damage is not really coming through. It looks like a wet noodle fight. However, Olympia Odyssey got pushed off the point, and then James coming in with a huge Lucio boot just to end that fight as soon as it started.
Yeah, absolutely. You know how it goes with Goats. 1 kill means full kills, and that has come through in a very short time there for the members of Divine as they take control of this initial point and begin counting it up.
And they're just going to hold this forward position, trying to keep them coming out. And
it's a big shatter from Kyun. He's just dropped a bunch of people down. Good counter plays, though, coming through. MacMan actually gets picked up there, and there comes the counter shatter. That's going to send Kyun down, and they're putting a lot of pressure now onto the Zarya as well as they try to push through to the point. Alamau does get traded out, however, Dr. Meme is down on the Zen, and there goes Hydra as well. The kills all coming through in favor of Olympia Odyssey. There's just a little bit more stagger here. They've got the deal with the one Lucio, but there will be the point flip at 30%.
And that is a very, very high charge on the Zarya. And the extra charge on the Zarya, especially into a Goat's Bomb, you can actually melt the Diva through that defense matrix. We are going to see the double Brigolts coming out, the answer, and so this is just another scrap. We are going to see...
Team's dropping position, but there's the grab coming in. Immediately the Transcendence is there. Crocodile tries to charge it out of the grab, doesn't manage to pick up the target he's looking for, and there's a counter grab too, and a counter Transcendence coming back. Tafiki, the only casualty so far, but that is all you really need in this. That said, Alamau gets traded back. There's the shadow from Krun, but it gets blocked out. Indigo actually does get down from that one, and does get taken out as well. The kills finally starting to come through in favor of Divine. They are going to push this one through, and it's just a couple of tanks desperately trying to stall on the point. MacBan down again, but there goes Burke, so it's just going to be a quick cleanup.
Yep, and Divine are going to take that fight. And it's still really, really even on the time here. I mean, 50 to 30, it might seem like a little bit of a difference, but for the amount of time that Divine are going to be able to do...
That's an early sound barrier coming out from Indigo. They're really pushing in with that. Very aggressive play there. MacMan caught out of position again. Does manage to make it out this time, so great plays there from the rest of his team to bail him out. Does get picked up by the Zarya in the end, however. And this is going to be the go button. They pop the rally. There's the Transcendence coming out from Dr. Meme to try and equalize here. Shadow goes through, not picking up anything, but there's the grab. A lot of members picked up in that one. James goes down from the self-destruct, though, and it actually looks like this fight is going to be won here by Olympia Odyssey. Kyun's already done the reset, and it's just a matter of time for this last little bit of cleanup.
Yeah, Zenyatta going to get taken down, and then the Diva finishing up that fight. I do really want to put out here, Piranhas, Crocodile and Kyun on these Reinhardts. I think I've only seen one Shatter actually go through. Both of these players, their shields have been utterly immaculate blocking these Reinhardts.
There's a nice early grab there coming through. Hydra already down. This is looking very good to swing the balance of this one. Weet-Bix and Milk, however, getting taken out there. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Diva Bomb over the top. That's going to be dangerous. Doesn't manage to pick up anyone. Good shatter there from Crocodile just to make sure nothing else is going on here. However, the kill's starting to come through in favor of Divine. Sound Barrier is going to be committed here just to try and keep them up as well. They're looking to try and equalize this fight. Kyun goes down, so does Crocodile. They're trading Ryans, but there is the grab there. No kills coming through, not enough damage into that, and this is really looking very much like this point will be flipping once again.
And if Odyssey are going to 99% this, they do have one more fight, so they can give this fight up, just regroup and come back in. And they've got 15% to play with. If anyone gets staggered here, this will be an absolute disaster for Olympia Odyssey.
Yeah, absolutely. And that said, despite the fact they've got some time to come back in, they're not looking super hot in the ultimate economy here. So it is going to be tough for them to break through this defense.
Yep, though they will have the Brig ult available to initiate this fight, and the Diva ult's on 96%. It's really close, but someone
Here comes the
hand-touched.
fight. Good shatter coming out there. Does manage to pick up Burke, and there's the grab. Unfortunately, the shield is going to be able to block it out, but it doesn't matter as they can't get on the point. Divine are going to take Lijiang Tower. Great grab there, catching all the members of Olympia Odyssey and just denying them any chance to get that contest.
Yep. I gotta say, these ults coming out, nearly each of them is just super clutch. Like, a lot of the Reinhardt ults, like I said, a lot of them haven't been landing, but that's just from the skill from the other Reinhardt. And when they do come through, it's been 3 or 4 man shatters. The Zarya ults have all been absolutely huge. And they were trading these ults really, really effectively, as their counterparts are having the same ults at the same time. We're not seeing one of these really big ult discrepancies where one Zarya's got his ult, 30 seconds into the point, and the other Zarya only has 30% charge. We are seeing these ults come through as expected. These timings are just on point.
Yeah, absolutely. It really says a lot about the distance between these teams, or lack thereof. They're playing very close there, and it really is just coming down to a game of inches, and Divine, both times now, just barely managing to get it across, which is going to give Olympia Odyssey the map pick now, and they will be taking us to Rialto for our escort map.
Ooh, so they decided to go against the Dorado for this Rialto, and do we know if they're attacking or defending first here, Peronius?
That's a good question, actually, because it actually hasn't been indicated. So obviously, Divine, as the winner of the last match, get to choose attacking or defense, and so it looks like, I believe they have chosen to defend first. But I'm not 100% sure. I always forget which color means attack and defense first. Yeah. So we will be seeing this in just a moment. Yes, it will be Divine defending first, and Olympia Odyssey on the attack.
See, I'm really surprised not to see a Lucio out of these teams. That played it so well on Lijiang Tower, and had some really nice boots. And this first point, or at least for this very first bit of the choke, those sides into the river is such a nice, beautiful spot for Lucio's just to wall right around and get a 3-man boot. So we're not going to see that coming out.
No, we're not.
We're going to see double sniper.
Yeah, it's double sniper with the dive tanks, which I guess sort of explains why they're not running the Lucio here, because they are going to get a lot more value from the Mercy Zen. But it's definitely not going to be the sort of defense you expect to see on this one. We will, of course, have the goats just pushing out from Olympia Odyssey here as they begin to get the payload moving.
Do keep an eye on the double sniper, though. The attack should be diving forward and trying to make them space, but if they get left alone for too long, they could be very much caught out. And at the moment, though, they're just giving free push. This is nearly half the point.
Yeah, well, I think they definitely want to bring the fight out here to the courtyard where they can set up those multiple angles, and Hyg already getting the early DMAC onto Wheat, Pigs and Milk. It's definitely a good start. However, the Goats comp is very resilient. They're going to need a bit more than a Diva mech to be able to stop this one. And the cart's still pushing fairly freely here. Finally, they get the kill into Indigo, and there goes Wheat, Bix, and Milk as well. So the go button is away. A Fenn's going down as well. Hygia really getting the shot. There's one from MacMan, and there's the successful defense. They knew what they were doing. They didn't panic. They're waiting for their snipers to get the angles they need to be able to pick apart the Goats comp from multiple directions.
Yep, and Hygia did do absolute wonders in that fight, taking out 3. We are going to see a slight swap up. We're going to see Olympia Odyssey now swapping to much more of a dive composition. The Winston Diva and the Genji.
There goes the Dragon through from MacMan. Does provide a lot of pressure, but not getting anything there. Hygia gets the kill onto a Fenzo. That is a great opening pick. And there's absolutely going to be another easy fight win unless there are some trades coming back very quickly. Diva Bomb committed there. Tafiki has taken down Crocodile and been killed by Crocodile at the same time. But A. Lamau actually picks up Hygia. The res will come through onto Tafiki, so we are still going to see the defense hold here. But there is an opportunity with that Widow now uncontested from the part of A. Lamau.
Yeah, So I gotta say, I was really dubious about letting the free push to 75% of this first point, but it looks like it's going out really well. Oh, a huge boop from Tafiki, gonna keep Winston off this high ground, and we're gonna see how this fight actually does play out.
Yeah, both getting taken down earlier by MacBan is still looking really good for the defense, and there goes ALML as well. That is going to be the attackers once again push back to spawn. Divine continuing to show their dominance here in this game so far. They've just absolutely been locking down this first point. Olympia Odyssey really struggling to make headway.
And is it a case of they don't know how to play against this? Because they are running a very split composition and are playing it very effectively. It's a composition where you can't make mistakes. And at the moment, they're not making mistakes. They're making all of these things really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Crocodile's gone down early as well. Wheatpigs and Milk gone down. There goes Jarmez, however, taken out by the Diva Bomb. That's a big window for the next fight if they're able to get a quick reset and come back. IGS still being an absolute terror on this Widow, however, but they will be having the Nano Blade up for the next fight. That could be what they need to break through this point.
Yeah, and in retaliation, all they're going to have is the Dragon and the Diva Bomb. So hopefully a Diva Bomb can catch out this nanoed Genji. Otherwise, Divine actually might lose this first point.
Yeah, absolutely. The team's just jockeying for position here. Just a lot of poke back and forth between the tanks. The Widow's exchanging shots at range, trying to get the advantage. Kyun under a lot of pressure now, and that is going to bring out the Valkyrie from Jarmez. Kyun very dangerously close to going down. There comes the Nano Blade. There's a couple of us. Diva Bomb doesn't quite get the Genji, however, it does force him into the room, not where he wanted to be, and he gets taken out by Dr. Meme. And Wheatpix and Milk actually cleaned up by MacMan there as well with the Dragon. So far this fight looking like it is slowly grinding out in favor of the attackers. Yes, the more kills coming through as both the supports are now down for the likes of Divine, but MacMan's still alive and a terror on this Hanzo. And they need to get on this payload and get across the line because they are running out of time here. And there are still some very dangerous tanks alive. Kyun still keeping this cart stalled up. Crocodile is going to take him out before he gets traded out. And the defenders are reinforcing here. They've got the respawn advantage. They've taken back control of the cart. And they will stop it at the end of A. What an incredible defense coming out from Divine.
That was a full hold on Rialto. You know, usually you see these brilliant last-minute pushes. They see the overtime and just the ults start coming out. Well, Olympia popped their ults the fight before that. And it looked so close. But the tanks for Divine just stayed alive and just kept cleaning on up.
Yeah, absolutely. And some really great plays to counteract that Dragon Blade that was coming in as well. The Diva Bomb was thrown over the courtyard. It zoned the Genji out, not able to follow through with his blade properly, forced him into a narrow corridor, and as it turns out, there was a Zenyatta there waiting for him that had his number. And so that Nano Blade getting shut down through some great teamwork there.
Yeah. What I'd like to see out of Olympia Odyssey is just some more target focus. It looks like they're getting enough damage down. The shots are hitting. It's just getting out healed. So if they can choose a target and dive on it more effectively, I reckon they have a really solid chance of actually holding this one as far. Especially with how far that Divine actually let the cart push for free. So a close hold from Olympia. They might get two full fights out of this first hold.
Yeah, that said, looking at it, Olympia is looking to run the same sort of double sniper comp, however with the more brawly Ryan Zaya main tanks, and it's going to make it difficult to do a forward hold against the goats that is being presented by Divine at the moment. It's not really an easy fight, because in this first point, all the damage is pretty much going to be coming from the one direction. It's a lot easier for goats to deal with and block out, whereas the courtyard has those multiple different sight lines that really allow them to set up that defense.
So it's just going to be a case of, can the snipers find their angles to find the squishies in? Find the Brigida, find the Lucio. If one of these healers starts getting taken down, then Olympia Odyssey have a really strong chance of of holding this first point.
Yeah, a lot of pressure onto Crocodile here, but Kyun also pretty low. There goes Crocodile though, gets deleted out, and now the gates are open for Divine. They are pushing everyone back. We do see the disengage coming through from Olympia Odyssey. They're giving up the space. They are going to need to come back in, but they want to do it as late as possible so that there's as much time as possible to get other people in. They do get Macman down, but no one gets on the payload, and that is going to be Divine taking Rialto.
That Diva boop Tafiki just came in utterly huge there, booped 3 members off the point as they tried to contest. I gotta give him a good play for that one. And here we're gonna see some Widowmaker action right sitting in the back, and just plonk, you're just being free. And this is exactly what you want your Widowmaker to be doing. Yes, they're body shots. It doesn't matter. People are still dying, and the damage is free. No contestation for this Widowmaker.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're given that much space, it is just free real estate, and we absolutely see it getting claimed up there. And now Divine, a dominant performance in Rialto, very different from what we saw back on Lijiang Tower, where the games looked a lot closer. And it's going to be interesting to see how things go from here as we move over to Assault.
So the Assault maps for our games tonight will be a Temple of Anubis or a Hanamura. And as Odyssey lost that last match on Rialto, they should be getting the pick. I do really want to point out though, Koth, King of the Hill or Control Point, that is much more a test of individual skill. So, in a nice Control Point map, it's a lot more chaotic, and it isn't all around one objective. The fights can break out in multiple places. Yes, there's still team play, but a lot more individual skill comes into it. On a payload or escort, it's a lot more team play, which I think is why Divine is showed much more of a dominant performance on Rialto, as the team play there might just be an edge better.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be heading over to Temple of Anubis now for our next map. So obviously, Olympia Odyssey feeling like they're going to have a better chance here with the longest sight lines that Anubis gives them to work with. Interesting decision considering what we've just seen from the likes of Divine. But at the same time, I can understand not wanting to go to Hanamura because Hanamura, certainly there's a lot of places of it that feel very similar to Rialto first, so I can understand not wanting to go there right now.
Like, the main difference between these two maps is Hanamura actually has a slightly difficult first point to take, while Temple of Anubis, one team wipe is first point. They can't really stall it out if you get a nice clean team wipe. So if you're feeling a little bit unconfident in your skills, you can just build 6 ults and just pop everything in one fight after a dry run. And that should give you this first point on Temple of Anubis. The second point, however, I'm pretty sure most of you guys have been there before. You had 6 minutes on the clock, and you managed to take 1 tick of that first 6 minutes. Though, the same for Hanamura, so I think what Olympia Odyssey are trying to bank on is being able to hold this first point for longer.
Well, it's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off, as we do have these teams coming out. Both of them favouring a Winston in the lineups. We are actually going to see Divine running the Flying Goats, or floats if you will, whereas we're going to see a more traditional dive coming out of their counterpart in Olympia. And we do have a bit of a trade here. Macman going down early to a great Annonade. However, Crocodile and Wheatbix and Milk both getting taken out. There is a late kill onto Dr. Meme though from Burke, so this is still definitely winnable. But no, we are going to see the attackers back out here, especially with Burke going down. They're going to try and bring it back in with their respawn advantage.
Yep, though in that fight, Fens on Ana and Ailamao on this Widowmaker just sat there completely uncontested and just popped away that entire fight. If they're not getting on these backline, I think Olympia Odyssey have a really strong case for taking this first point.
Well, there goes Wheatbix and Milk getting taken out, but Kyun's dropped as well. There goes Crocodile, however. They've once again lost both their main tanks in the very start of the fight. Indigo takes out Macman again, but does get traded back as well. Ailamao, however, is up on the high ground and is just raining down shots. Basically uncontested, as it's going to be very difficult to provide a lot of pressure there.
Like, the only pressure that Ailamao will ever be getting is Kyun on this Winston or Tafiki on this Diva, and he can just grapple away from both of these. So this Widowmaker is just going to be able to just free shoot for this entire first point.
And there goes Crocodile again, going in very deep, trying to hunt down Dr. Meme, but not able to get the kill. A lot of very nice peel coming through from Divine. Now they're going to drop the sound barrier and really push up and eject the members of Olympia Odyssey from this point. So we are going to see a bit of a reset here.
A little bit of a questionable play, popping both the Brigida ult and the Lucio ult when no damage was coming through. So that's going to be a nice ult advantage over to Olympia Odyssey. They're going to have the Nano Blade coming out, Offense and Burke, And we're also going to see the D.Va Winston ults. So it is now currently 4 ults to 3, and Indigo very close to that sound barrier as well. So Olympia Odyssey are really building this ult bank. So I hope that they start using this soon.
There goes Lamau, however, getting picked up by Hygia. That is not what you expect to see here. However, we do have the members of Olympia Odyssey having managed to take up position in the room. Indigo is getting taken down as well, so Tafiki getting very aggressive here. And we're actually going to see the retreat out of the members of Olympia Odyssey.
I like this. I like this a lot. 4 members, you're not going to be able to contest the 6 that Divine still have on the point. And we really need to see a really clean engage, because they had their opportunity last fight. However, Alamau just went a little bit too aggressive and got picked. And now we're going to see Hygia with this Zarya ult, going to have Tafiki with the D.Va. I'm expecting to see a nice combo out of both of them, just as they start coming in.
Okay, and we will see these teams jostling for position. Alamau has hooked up and is in the sightlines once again, but Kieran, waiting for that one, jumps straight on the Widowmaker. And here comes the peel, but it's not fast enough. Kieran dropping the Primal Rage to kill that Widow, and that has scuffed this whole push. Here comes a D.Va Bomb getting committed in by Wheatbix and Milk. Doesn't pick up anything with it, and Primal Rage actually been brought out by Crocodile as well, who goes down as well. They are feeding a lot of ults into this fight, but they are not getting any kills for it, and now we have less than 30 seconds on the clock. Things are looking desperate here for Olympia Odyssey.
They just need to start popping ults. Thus far, Olympia Odyssey have held this Nano Blade for the last minute and a half. I can understand they aren't seeing good times to go in, but they're running out of time. They have to pop something now.
And Dr. Meme has just cleaned up both their DPS. There's a Grav that's got their tanks scooped up. There goes Crocodile from the D.Va Bomb. That's it. There is no match there. Turns out Zenyatta is a DPS and Dr. Meme is the dominant DPS in this match.
I call Zenyatta poor man Hanzo. So every time I used to be a Hanzo main, right? And every time I needed to fill for my team, I went, cool, I'll play some Zenyatta, I might as well be a Hanzo. And we just saw that just come out, and he picked 2 people out in that back. And I've got to say, Burke needs to pop that blade. There are still a couple of ults on the side of Olympia Odyssey, which just was still there. You need to start popping these ults more frequently, and either call a dry push, so you're not going to pop any ults, or call a full push where you just drop everything. And unfortunately, Olympia Odyssey didn't get this first point, and that's going to be really hard because the way Divine are playing...
Absolutely, this is their back against the wall. Divine just needs to get this first third, and that is it for this match. So, a lot of pressure on Olympia Odyssey now.
So, what I want to see here out of Divine is a nice Widowmaker, because as it was, not contested at all from Divine. So if we can see the Widowmaker get 1 or 2 picks, this should be free point for Divine.
Yeah, absolutely. But, well, it's going to come down to, exactly how much pressure Olympia Odyssey can put into this one. They've moved over to a bit of an unusual composition with the D.Va Wrecking Ball for their tanks, and they're going to run Ashe Genji with the Ana Lucio. So very unusual composition, but is it going to be enough for this tanks?
I don't really mind the Wrecking Ball as a hero pick, but more as an off tank. He should be able to just stay alive on this point, which is what they need. But he's going to provide absolutely no shield for his backline. And
a lot of early kills coming through. The Alamau does get 2 on the entry to the point. However, this fight devolving into a bit of a brawl. The members of Divine not giving up as of yet. Hygia actually ends up dying in the process of demecking Wheatbix, and this is looking a bit dangerous due to the respawn advantage. However, a late kill onto that D.Va mech, putting Tafiki into the mini D.Va form, is going to buy them some time and buy them some space, which should give them the ability to get their members back before the next push.
Though both teams have no D.Va mech available, so they're just going to be sitting here waiting for ults. I stand corrected, Wheatbix and Milk now going to get the D.Va mech. But I've got to say, Divine played that really, really well. They got members of both high grounds before actually committing to the point. And that's utterly huge. There's no free damage.
Well, here comes the kill zone. Another fight being picked by the members of by the members of Olympia Odyssey, and they are just pushing through Divine and driving them back to spawn once again. Lamau actually has been a terror on this Ashe so far, putting in a lot of damage and a lot of work for the team, and Burke helping with the cleanup as well with those Genji dashes.
But back to what I was saying, Divine did manage to get most of the members off high ground, and Olympia still won it with no free damage. So that's, I gotta give them absolute credit for that. Winning a fight, and an even fight like that, is exactly what they need to be doing. And they've got 2 minutes left to defend this, and that's probably, what, 3-4 fights? And ult's now starting to come available. We're going to see the Genji Blade for Divine, and we're going to see 4, 5, nearly 6 ults for Olympia Odyssey just sitting in the bank. That's utterly huge. And
here comes the Blade. MacMan pulling it out, but here comes the counter beat coming through, and the counter Blade. Burke getting the bigger one, taking down Chalmers and Kyun. We have seen Lamau go down, but there goes Hydra as well, and Indigo taking out Dr. Meme. This will be another successful hold here from the members of Olympia Odyssey. It looks like they have woken up, and so far this is looking alright for them.
So that was the Nano Blade from Olympia Odyssey, and that's, and what, the Sound Barrier. So three ults used for MacMan's Genji Blade, and was there anything else? I don't think so.
No,
so
you are right, so that they are going to trade up.
Yeah, Divine trading up, and that was a good push for them. The ult economy is now slightly swinging back into the favor, though the site's going to get popped. Heige, we need some shots from you right now.
Hygia takes out Indigo. That's a good opening play. Diva Bomb just to get the remake back, but Hygia, uncontested on that ground, takes out Crocodile as well. Lamau is going to pick up Mashman, but there goes Lamau. Hygia just unmolested on his high ground. Bob is on the point and providing a lot of pressure there. But, a good sleep there from the Ana, but it is just an Ana and Lucio alone on the point against both these tanks and support. It's only a matter of time. Crocodile does make it back onto the point. Let's see how long they can keep this alive. Can they keep it going long enough for reinforcements to come through? Because the attackers do have respawn advantage. It's only a matter of time, and that Diva Bomb absolutely going to make it very difficult to stay alive. That's it. That will be Divine winning this one, and that will be a 3-0 in their favor.
That was really well played, that last fight. Afens on that Ana popped some amazing sleeps. There was a sleep on the Bob, there was a sleep on the Diva, and they just stayed alive a lot longer than I'd expect. Oh, look at that headshot on that Lucio. And that's what started this fight out.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely do not expect when you're a Lucio to just have your head taken clean off, because you are such a small target, especially at that range. So definitely not expecting that one to happen, but there we go. Jarmez not able to... Sorry, not Jarmez. Indigo not able to make it across the gap, and as a result, that will be the Divine victory.
Yeah. So, Peronius, is this a best of 3 or best of 5 tonight?
This one was a first to 3, so that is actually the match. And, Divine picking up the win here tonight, so they will be pretty happy with that one as they move on in the season. And Olympia Odyssey going to be coming into future rounds, obviously looking for revenge against some other players in the bracket as these teams compete in the top division of the Ascent tournament.
Yeah. Though I also really need to reiterate, Olympia Odyssey was no way the weak team here. They were putting up a massive fight. They were having really nice free groups. They had really nice ult usage, especially on Li Zhangtao. Li Zhangtao was really, really close. And I think what it ended up being is after you lose the first map, your mental starts going a little bit. Especially then the second map, you get full held. That does a little bit, and you can just feel yourself being like, hey, we're not winning these fights, something's not working, what's not working? And trying to adapt on the fly, you could see a couple of the adaptations. They originally started on the goats, they moved to the Winston dive, and it did start paying more dividends, but it just wasn't enough. So, absolutely great games from both of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a lot of promise there from Olympia Odyssey. Unfortunately, not able to bring it together tonight, but they'll definitely still be a team to watch in this division. On that note, we are going to go for a bit of a break here. We will be back later tonight, just under an hour's time, for the next match. And let me just have a look as to who that will be. It looks like it will be Golden Mario versus Adjective Bears, or ADJ Bears. I assume that's Adjective. So we will be back at 8:30 p.m. AEDT, right here on AOE Sports for the next game of the Ascent series. So stick with us, and we'll see you back here soon.